Our Hotspots magazine will celebrate 39 years this fall. It has been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and is the inspiration of our Hotspots Queer Entertainment this week. And it's sponsored by the Broward Center for Performing Arts. In the LGBTQ plus community, we always make jokes about size matters. Well, when it comes to the Broward Center, size does matter. The Broward Center is the destination of choice for LGBTQ plus South Florida for spectacular entertainment in a large variety of performance venues. Broward Center ranks among the top 10 most visited theaters in the entire world, presenting more than 700 performances a year to more than 700,000 patrons. And Broward Center supports one of the world's largest gay communities, right here in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, but really all over South Florida. They support the LGBTQ plus community and our nonprofits unlike any theater in South Florida. And we are excited to tell you about upcoming shows. And did you know that surveys show that the LGBTQ plus community participates in live theater performances 2.5 times more often than our straight counterparts? And that's why they are the sponsor of Hotspots Queer Entertainment this week. And it's this. The rugby legend and longtime icon to the LGBTQ plus community, Ben Cohen, has made his acting debut in the British anthology series Patterns. The series rather ingeniously captures Cohen as himself, or rather as a poster of himself that comes to life to share words of advice to a closeted teen who idolizes him. It's fantastically campy, and really, who could complain about another opportunity to see the rugby hunk shirtless? But that's just the tip of the iceberg with Patterns, a highly high-concept comedy that introduces us to a world of eccentric characters and finds them all fitting in and out in 8 different genres across 8 distinctive episodes, all centered on LGBTQ plus themes. It's important that so many new shows and movies globally include LGBTQ plus themes and characters.
I need to go back to work. Nino must be wondering what's happened to me. He has texted me like 4 times.
I'm sure he knows exactly what's happened to you.
Well, maybe that's true, but I still need to go. Don't worry, I'll be back. Did you just cough?
Patterns, patterns, patterns. No matter how complicated the strands, how frayed the threads, how broken the connections, the mind will weave. We create, and we believe what we create.
The Hotspots Queer Entertainment is new British anthology comedy Patterns. Is chaotic, hilarious, confusing, but above all else, it's super gay. What do y'all think?
Well, I loved it. I loved the.
Did you see it?
So I did the little research about the whole how you can watch. You don't have to watch all in succession. You can watch them individually, and it all kind of get pieced
Like
together.
8 little
It's
mini
8
movies.
little mini movies, and they reference somebody from another episode and kind of comes together. I like it also how it's real life. You know, when we sit down at the table to film and we saw how our wonderful co-host coughed. Immediately, I was like, "Ew, is that real? Like you got COVID?" And then here it is. I also could share. I'm amongst friends. The opening scene where the guy said, "Hey, I need to get back to work." That was my life. That literally was my life today. I had to set Alexa for like 10 minutes while I did a quick little romp and went right back to work. So I love how these things are truly within our
hold on one
community.
second. Did you just tell us it's like wham, bam, thank you, sir?
I had a break. I needed a moment, and there was somebody I could be like, "Hey, I got 10 minutes. You ready?"
All right.
10 minutes. They came. They did what they needed to do.
I see. So this was a documentary for you.
Art imitation is the best imitation
Art
of
expose.
art.
Right? I mean, we say it countless times from this table that, representation matters. So as more of these come out, the better it is for everybody. I mean, there's a writer's strike right now. So maybe some LGBTQ plus content that was on the cutting room floor might just make it to our homes. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Unless you can relate to them.
One of the things that's really interesting to your point and this, as I was watching the two of them in bed, I was thinking, now, and from my standpoint, I have watched that scene for 50 years. When I was a teenager, I watched that scene for 50 years. If you watched daytime soap, I'm in high school and I come home and maybe my mom's watching a soap opera. That was the scene. You watched that scene over and over and over again. The one big difference is it was a man and a woman. So we watched that scene with two men doing exactly what we watched on television in America on ABC 50 years ago. The point of watching that is not necessarily how important that scene is, but that it normalizes our relationships are exactly the same thing as the relationships we watched on ABC 50 years ago.
It's true.
Other thoughts? I guess there are no.
Well, I also like the fact about the beautiful woman. So as I was doing my research, I thought about Faye, like, how our dynamic of you have that good girl that you can hang out with, and you can.
I'm a good girl.
You are a beautiful woman.
What?
And the best girl ever, and the best beautiful woman that you can love on and
You
still
might
be
as well be
apart.
talking Russian right now because I have no idea what.
Me neither.
There we are.
But-
Wonder twins.
Whatever.
All right. The other thing that I wanted to ask about patterns being a UK generated accents, colloquialisms, etc. Do we just love it more because it's English?
I hate it. Wait, British?
English, British.
Like,
We love it more because it's British.
I know I like it because it's in English and I don't need subtitles. But
I'm not talking about the language.
No, I know, I
I'm
get it.
talking
But the accents,
darling.
I don't know why. I just don't like British comedies, British
It's
humor,
the
British
sexiest
everything.
thing on the planet.
And my parents
except
had it in
for
the house
Australian.
all
if
the
this
time.
was produced in Sydney, I would even love it even more.
But I do love the rugby thing. I think out of all the athletes, rugby dudes seem to be like the most like comfortable with their sexuality. So good on you, Mr. Crop Top. I don't know what your name is.
Did you process at all that if you were interacting with the rugby dudes, they would probably hurt you?
Yeah, the train would be endless with you.
But you'd enjoy it.
I don't
He would
know.
get moist. He would get moist.
I think I'm way
They
more.
would bang his
I think
pussy.
I'm way
They would bang his
more.
pussy. They would just bang his
I
pussy.
think I'm way more
God.
dominant than you guys realize.
Yeah, clearly you
with
are.
rugby
'cause
players,
you
baby.
knew about
Hey,
pussy.
let's
Yeah.
take a quick vote. Do you believe that?
Hell no, I'd bend them over.
Do
and
you
Hell
believe
no,
that?
hell no.
Do you believe that?
Bottom.
I vote no. We're done. Thank you.
Well, that
Thanks for
concludes
participating
this
and welcome to
segment
the Price
of
is Right.
patterns,
All
because
right.
this is a pattern at this
TriniDaddy.
table.
It's the pattern that we've identified. All right. Everyone is a fan of recently crowned RuPaul's Drag Race queen Sasha Colby, including House Representative Jill Tokuda. She is a Democrat from Hawaii. Last week, Tokuda took some time on the House floor to honor Sasha's victory and her habit of underscoring her Hawaiian heritage in the show. Addressing Sasha by her complete name, Sasha Kikawia, I believe, I probably got that wrong, Tokuda announced that since the beginning of the competition, Sasha took inspiration from her ethnic heritage, which was Hawaiian, and her childhood trauma for her performances. Sasha is the first openly transgender woman of color to be crowned America's next drag superstar.
I rise today to congratulate Hawaii-born Sasha Keikaoha, more famously known as Sasha Colby, on being crowned the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15. I am so proud that a fellow Windward girl hailing from the homesteads of Waimanalo has earned the title of America's next drag star. From the very beginning of the competition, Sasha, a seasoned drag legend, drew upon her ethnic heritage and childhood trauma as sources of inspiration for her performances. Throughout Drag Race, she authentically represented her Hawaiian culture, talking about the legacy she's building for our home state and about being mahu. In ancient Hawaiian days, mahu were considered extraordinary individuals of male and female spirit who brought their healing powers to Oahu from Tahiti. Today, trans people are among the most revered members in the Hawaiian community. Amidst ongoing attacks on our LGBTQ+ rights that particularly target trans people and drag queens, her win is not only well-deserved, it gives us all hope. Congratulations to Sasha Colby. You are a leader, you are a proud mahu, and every drag queen's favorite drag queen. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Wow. Question 2. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. I didn't think I would ever see a RuPaul's Drag Race winner like Sasha Colby be shouted out on the congressional floor.
Yes.
So iconic.
Can you imagine in the beginning of RuPaul, you know, back in the, why are you so bright, Miss RuPaul, that we would get to the point where a congressperson shouts out the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I think it is monumental, but we need to stop talking about her in Congress and get her in Congress. Have her on that floor. She could represent Hawaii. That Takuta can move over. She could do motions for death drops.
Motions for, how long have
Oh,
you
we
been
would
working
all
on
start
that
watching
joke?
C-SPAN.
You know, there's an experiment going on of that, of having a trans person on a state floor, and it's going on in Montana, and not going great.
Yeah.
Not going
Why
great.
didn't you drink?
Well,
Because this was an inevitability.
What's it?
that's what I thought too. Yeah.
All right, Dr.
Yeah.
Who.
I'm not
surprised.
No.
Oh, that's
I'm surprised it took that long.
Well, are you surprised? Wait, are you surprised that it was a trans drag superstar? Because it could have been.
No,
I'm
from
not
my
surprised about
state,
any of it.
I take the shot because I'm surprised. Now, wait, I've got to get in my ability to cash in. I worked with RuPaul's Drag Race.
Did you? Oh, wow.
We actually had no idea. Tell us more. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never heard about that, actually.
And well, let me tell you.
You with a bright light.
We've got about 40 minutes. All right, sit back. The reason it's surprising is because first, unlike the attacks that we see today on drag was like a very niche kind of thing, mostly for our community. And when it started on Logo, it was a gay, men's-driven product. Now, all of that's changed. White, straight women are probably the top audience for RuPaul's Drag Race. There's great support for drag, but remember, at the beginning of RuPaul's Drag Race, no trans. RuPaul was very clear, no, it breaks the illusion if it's not a man being a woman in drag, and so therefore it can't be trans. She breaks it. And as a person of color, being trans, she breaks so many barriers, and the recognition, the reason I take the shot is the recognition on the floor of the House. This congresswoman says our state completely embraces the trans community,
that
the
part.
drag community. It's like I'm like Scooby-Doo.
And the fact that it's going to be in black and white, the fact that it's now going to be captured in time is what's important, and that's why I drank. As a woman speaking for another woman, as a Hawaiian native speaking for a Hawaiian native, showing pride that you can have pride in someone who may not be like you, meaning you may grow up differently, but you can accept them, support them, and celebrate them, and make those Caucasian folks who may not agree with her listen, have to acknowledge it, and put it in their record.
Can we just agree right now, before we move on to the next slide, swallow that Max is basically completely wrong? Let's just all agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
all right, we're done there. All
I
right.
expect those moments. I demand those moments.
Like you thrive in those moments.
Bossy bottoms. I don't love it.
He almost flung his hair. Oh my God.
Exactly.
You.
All right.
Let's discuss It's Happening Out's Hot Topic this week, and it's sponsored by the American retail chain Hot Topic, with nearly 700 locations specializing in counterculture-related clothing and accessories representing many varied interests of the LGBTQ plus community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and a whole lot more. Hot Topic features one of the largest collections of pride merchandise that celebrates all aspects of the LGBTQ plus community. Hot Topic is a major supporter of the diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBTQ plus organizations. And that's why they are the sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. General nakedness around the home is not an unusual habit. As a matter of fact, many people must be doing it when alone at home right now. One Reddit user wants to know if anyone else is also indulging in naked or half-clothed in-house days when home alone. Apart from the user, needless to say, Reddit gay users jumped on this post on our LGBT. The long thread of comments revealed interesting thoughts. Some Redditors said it is weird for people not to have a space in their life where being in the natural state nudity is acceptable and people should be comfortable in their own home. One other user said, quote, "My partner and I parade around the house naked pretty often. The pets don't seem to mind," end quote. Well, pets never do mind. No. But what about others? This week's hot topic is, are LGBTQ plus people more comfortable being nude around friends or each other than straight people are? All right, what do you kids think?
Yeah. I mean, I routinely walk around the house basically in like a long t-shirt and that's about it.
No underwear?
Sometimes no.
But you live with your boyfriend, right?
Your husband, yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, I just do.
But it's just you and your hubby.
Yeah, it's like.
And your pets.
Yeah, it's just not, I think that sometimes we have to get more open with ourselves because honestly, there is a kind of a strange thing of if you're not even comfortable by yourself in the all together, then it's like you have to kind of wonder what's going on with that because, you know, if you get out of the shower, for example, especially in South Florida, you know, like maybe the most comfortable thing right after is to not put on clothes because it's hot. But I mean, there are people that they stay in clothes no matter what.
Yeah. Do you folks have friends that are like just constantly like always naked?
Yeah.
Like I've got, you know, and people are like, okay, the point of the question is like, are we more comfortable being naked around our friends than straight people are? You know, like you're not at all.
No, and I don't think that I'm the norm.
Okay.
If you go to like a gay party or at a sawmill campground or anything like that where nudity is allowed, like that's different. Absolutely flock to that.
Yeah.
But I don't like being naked around friends or like gay friends. I feel like I like that line being there where it is. Like I'm not one of those guys that has slept with his gay friends. So like there are friends that I'll be naked with, but those are very particular situational.
You know, like I'm thinking about like, okay, you know, in LGBTQ, like our dressing rooms, right? Like when I'm working a gig, right? And I'm in the back in the dressing room with the drag queens, right? Everybody's just getting naked and changing. Nobody's looking at each other. It's not that kind of thing. When I used to model, same thing. Like there's someone just stripping you down and putting other clothes on you and no one's looking, you know? And so girls are just walking around naked because that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? And there's not a malice to it.
Yeah, because I thought about the same thing also of like working in theater, and I know you probably have the same experience also because you're just used to just the quick change, you know, and everyone's just changing and pulling and tugging and putting things on you. But after looking at the story, it made me think of like my straight friends, and I realized that they are more comfortable being naked around me, which I find interesting because we'll like we're on vacation or, you know, they're over at the house or whatever, and like we'd be in the hotel and they're going to go take a shower, but they get naked in the room
and
they
put their
just walk
penis in your mouth and then
you know, on the way to the bathroom, you know, but
look how cool and accepting.
Yeah, you know, but it's like, they're really like
okay, but is that what Mark is saying? Is that the reason though? Like to try to show you, look at me, P flag, look, I'm gonna go to Pride with you. Look how
this is an ally, baby.
Look how comfortable I am right here.
I don't think so. I just think they're just more comfortable. Like
like I mean, when I was in college, like girls like literally they change bras, do nothing. It was never a thing. And it was really funny because I had this one friend, she had a nice bosom, right? And like the guys on my floor, because I lived in a mixed gender building, they were like asking me like,
what do they look like?
Right, because they were all like, I was always upstairs, so like every guy was asking me about every girl.
Is Thelma as big as Louise?
Because it would, like the girls would just be like, whatever,
identical twins.
Literally, like they just didn't care, and so it is. I think that it always comes back down to like comfort level, right? Like how comfortable do you feel around a person, just in general? I don't think it's really like a gay or straight thing. I think it's literally just how comfortable you are around certain people.
But I think it is a gay and a straight thing though, Auntie, because I think like you said, you know, like all growing up in college and stuff like that, I had my gay boys and I had my bestie and whatever, and it was like not even a thought in your mind to change in front of them. But because you were comfortable and you were safe.
Yeah, we do it here in the studio, like when we're changing between shows, like if someone's randomly just like getting naked and it's not anything, we're not like looking at each other, we're just changing for the next scene,
looking.
You know?
So I actually, that's kind of where I'm going with it. That my level of like comfort being naked in front of other people has to do with whether I think that they're attracted to me or not, or if they're like, if I am.
So if they're hotter than you, then.
No, it has nothing to do with hot or not.
No, I'm still asking you. I'm asking if they're hotter than you and they might have an attraction to you, would you be okay getting naked in front of them?
If I'm feeling in a good state, like, you know, I've worked out earlier that day, I still got my gym pump and everything, So
then you'd post a shirtless picture on social media for a bunch of people that you don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm
Would
going
you?
back to this
Do
topic.
you post like that? Do
What?
you post topless pictures on your social media? I don't follow you. I'm never going to follow you. So
I follow Trini on social.
With the zoomed up hair.
All right, well, this is not the topic.
Wait,
All right,
wait,
You are the topic. You are the topic.
No,
Yes.
That's the topic.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
So I would say like
Production,
if there-
can you show those images that I sent you of Tony
What?
shirtless?
I don't know who Tony
Please
is
tell me you have
either.
them.
But anyway,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Anyways,
Next week.
so yeah, if I think that, particularly with gay friends, right? There's some gay friends that are just like your bros, and then there are other gay friends that are like either ones that you have hooked up with at some point, or that there is still like maybe an attraction going on, you know? So if I feel like that there is somebody that I have hooked up with, and there's definitely no more like attraction, I can be, you know, get naked and change or whatever in front of them. If there is attraction between both of us, I still can do that. Okay. But if there's somebody that I feel it's like a one-sided thing where they're like kind of into you maybe a little bit, then I'm definitely like Maria Von Trapp when I'm around that. Because I just don't want to invite any kind of weirdness between us.
But that makes sense.
And also with girls too, because there are sometimes a lot of girls that like, if they're into you in a certain way, because there's a lot of girls that love gay men, and they're gonna be like wanting to look, and just how Faith be looking at people when they're changing and stuff. Sometimes they'll look at people too, and so like that.
So I guess it just depends.
It just depends on the situation
I,
and who the person is
at
and
home,
whether they're.
And I guess it's one of those
checking
things
me
because
out.
you have like this is your body, right? This is like your body to show. Okay, I've been married 5 years now, and like I'm always parading around the house naked because my pets don't mind either, right? But if we're in a fight, then I cover myself up. Isn't that hysterical?
You really? Like you can't see this.
This is not yours today, bitch. You know what I mean? Like I literally will. I should be like, are you really covered up? Yes, I am. Until you say sorry, and then
A big oversized hoodie, like.
It's time to have some fun. Woo. Let's play our yes or no game. It's called I'd Swallow That. I'm going to make 3 statements, and if the hosts agree, they take a shot. I'd Swallow That. It's sponsored by the LGBTQ plus community's favorite spirit brand,
Bacardi! No, it's Bacardi.
He likes when I say it like that.
I do.
Bacardi is the world's most loved rum brand. Bacardi is as diverse as our LGBTQ plus community. Our neighbors here in South Florida, they are the world's largest privately held spirits company. Bacardi is also a legacy name in their support of the LGBTQ plus community with sponsorships, pride embracements, and deep and passionate support of our LGBTQ plus charities and causes. And that's why tonight it's happening out. I'd Swallow That with our favorite rum drink, Bacardi. All right, folks, are we ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right, vamos. Gay wolves. That's it.
Yeah.
Gay wolves. No, okay. Gay wolves are defined by their chiseled bodies, unyielding masculinity, and ravenous sexuality. There's a reason wolves are considered apex predators, but in the gay animal kingdom, they only prey on the consensual hearts that lust after them. Gay wolves embody shameless manhood and desire. Gay wolves present seldom goes unnoticed with a Bacardi shot. I'd swallow that. Lions and tigers and otters, but I've never heard of gay wolves.
Yeah, same.
No, I've heard of them.
No,
I've actually heard of them.
It's like we're trying to make fetch happen. Like, relax. Like, you're gay. Like, wolves are just gay guys. They're chiseled men.
They're just hot gay guys.
Yeah.
They're hot gay guys.
I mean, they sound like vampires. Why don't you call yourself a vampire? You're out there in the queerty.
No, but that's skinny and pale.
It was like, no, but they were like, you're nocturnal, seeking out things that you want, and you'll get it. Yeah, bitch.
Pretty much that part.
My
right?
understanding of gay wolves was actually the preconceived notion of silver fox. They were these silver-haired, great, salt and peppered, skinnier, slightly chiseled, hairy men. So, they were the older otters of the time, and they didn't really have a term for that. And that's what
older otters.
Older otters.
Okay.
But a silver fox, meh. That's canonically used by straight women primarily. So wolves were used a lot in the early 2000s. And
really? So this is not like a new thing?
So,
no, it's not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. And I actually know folks within the leather community who identify as wolves. Not just within like kink and critter type where, I do know folks who even embody the wolf spirit, but folks who identify wolves and so in their play and their mannerism and how they act, so there's many animals out here in the world that people, I will share a secret. Last show you shared a secret. So growing up, my family looked at me and because of my mannerisms mannerisms and how I act, they called me Tiger. So my nickname is Tiger throughout my entire family because I was a crazy animal who jumped over everything.
El tigre.
Yeah.
He looks like a Dominican tigre, right?
So literally they had to tie a rope around my waist and tie me to the front door. So I wouldn't just go pray in front of
The story took a turn.
Wow.
Mannerisms, so it goes beyond a chisel body. It goes into your mannerisms and how you live and how you go about your life and your lifestyle.
That's cool.
Okay, so I'm sorry, go Cal.
No, so I said this wasn't born out of like Wolverine because going back to the guy with the white tank top on, like he looks like Wolverine from like the Marvel movie. So I thought for me, because I didn't know it had existed prior, I've always heard the term, but I thought it was something that was mimicking like the Marvel character.
Wow, okay, but it wasn't.
I was looking it up like not too long ago because my friend.
Because you were thinking maybe you're a wolf?
No, my friend is a wolf.
Okay.
But I thought that that's what he would be because he's not really like a bear, but I guess that's the closest thing he had.
Okay.
So then I was trying to look up what I am, but I have no idea if there's like a term for.
Okay, so let's explore that a second.
Let's explore it.
All right, so we have bears, right? I've heard of cubs.
Yes.
I've heard of otters.
Yes. Oh my.
Right?
There are tigers.
What else?
There's tigers. There's a whole bunch of critters.
Are there lions?
There are lions.
What? There's a whole bunch of critters?
Yeah, so there's ponies.
Pups,
there are ponies,
cats,
pups, kittens. Ponies, pup, kittens, and so it depends. Not necessarily as you mentioned, not always about body style, but mannerisms and how you go about your play. When you walk into the club, what do you feel about yourself? What do you show about yourself? And so there are folks who when they put on kitten items, they feel stronger. They feel more seen. They feel more empowered.
But I think this article or whatever, this segment taken from this Gritty article was only suggesting that these type of men
and body style, body style,
right? And but it was more personality wise. They get what they want. They go after.
They're assertive. They get their shit.
So it's sure it's kind of it's part personality, but mannerism is a little different. I like where this is going though, where depending on how you act or how you want to respond to something, you can identify as an animal. That's something different. This I feel is a little more generic. I feel like
that this is not substantial as like what Elimination say, right? Like
I want this to go deeper because I'm sure wolf means a lot more than this.
But do you all identify with any of these terms?
So I'm like you. When I read the article, I was like, they're really not. They gave us a line about how the kink community, like leather, it was like leather. Wolves is both in leather. But yeah, so I will be honest. For me, what I share with you, I grew into Tiger, so that was all I knew.
Yeah.
So when I go into a scene or when I go into play, I stalk my prey. I look at my prey. I devour my prey, and I'm done.
Yep.
And so I know
I love that.
That was kind of hot.
Other kittens who do that.
He was looking at you when he said.
I was like,
I'll beat that box out real quick. I would never be the same.
I would never walk the same again.
I would aim for that reason. Y'all be like, why can't he sit down and be like,
and he hits the second
elimination.
The second, not the second hole.
Not the second hole.
And both orifices, baby. And both orifices. What you
got? There you go. All right, let's move on to question number 2, folks. Oh my goodness. Woo! It's hot in here all of a sudden. Dios mío.
Let's play our yes or no game.
Leave grandma alone.
Elimination, you want to die?
I was defending you, my love.
Wow.
She's gonna start throwing
This side of the table is going to be lost.
Next time you need a Z-Pack, let's see who you
It just got real all of a sudden.
Real. Boy, when you go into the Z-Pack, you're really
It was real.
All right. Let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. We have played this game since season 1, episode 1, and we invite you at home to play right along with us as I make 6 statements to our host. You agree with the statement, they take the shot. Disagree, well, it's going to be a long night for Al and maybe everybody else too. Then let's play I'd Swallow That. And I'd Swallow That is sponsored by the LGBTQ community's favorite spirit brand. Bacardi is the world's most loved rum brand and a special sponsor of our nonprofit 501c3 efforts to educate, inform, and empower the LGBTQ plus community. Bacardi is as diverse as our LGBTQ plus community. Our neighbors right here in South Florida, they are the world's largest privately held spirits company. And Bacardi is also a legacy name in their support of the LGBTQ plus community with sponsorships, pride embracements, and a deep and passionate support of our LGBTQ plus community and charities and causes. And that's why tonight It's Happening Out plays I'd Swallow That with our favorite rum drink, Bacardi. All right, here we go. Fans of the TV show Below Deck are getting to know one of its stars, and a lot more intimately, I might add. Recently, Raging Stallions Studio, a gay adult studio, I have no knowledge of them at all. That's my official statement, released its first ever scene with Bravo reality star Lobo Carrera, someone who you may know as Bruno Duarte Vincent, from the 5th season of Below Deck. Bruno is an openly gay man, and some of the struggles he's had with his sexuality were documented on the show. And if you think this is his adult gay film debut, you are wrong, like Elimination. You are wrong. He had worked previously in a scene for Colt with his partner Jose in 2020. So question 1, with a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Of course, Below Deck star Bruno will continue his gay adult career. Of course he will. Of course. Now we're all drinking. I see that. Does adult sex works mean virtually anything in American society today in 23?
As in negatively?
Yeah.
Like moral judgment wise?
Yeah. Does it affect career? Does it affect your Q rating for entertainers?
We did a story a couple weeks back about what? Somebody,
the mayor of that little town in Spain.
Yeah.
The one that you visited.
And that he had, probably was. And, you know, he had a career, an adult film career before that. And that helped him a little.
Now, Faye's talking. I set up and teed up that question. We found a little video on Faye. We're going to show it.
Man, you walked into that.
Nobody wants to see that. It's okay.
Yeah. What Jonathan said, nobody wants to see that.
Did you notice that Faye got real quiet and her eyes got real big and that smile?
You know what?
I was excited. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my God.
I got scared. Like, I was like, who the F did you guys talk to?
God. And
Did you go all the way to Jersey? Fuck.
Your password has been compromised.
But Faye went from
to Jersey girls is really good point.
But her jersey came out real quick though. No, her jersey came out real quick there though. Let's be clear.
Girls in one.
All right. What do we think about Bruno?
He was so cute and innocent on the show. Like he was.
He really was.
Skinny,
Did you know? Really skinny?
Oh yeah.
I've never watched a single minute of this show.
Oh, I love Below Deck. I
love
Below Deck. I had Captain Sandy on my show on the FayWhat show,
that's
and
right.
she's
I forgot that.
amazing. I mean, love her. Super
They
big
should
crush
just call
on
it
her.
like rich people misbehaving. Their clients are terrible, but he was always such a sweetheart.
Quiet,
he has
right?
done a big
Mark, you know reality is not real, right?
He was that skinny Al.
Oh,
now he's a big.
I just see dollar signs. I feel like he's not really making money on Below Deck.
Dollar signs.
In reality,
Below Deck. Below Deck.
I was doing the same thing.
But now he's going to be blowing deck.
That is going blowing deck.
Making more money.
But as a reality star on Bravo, the next step is to go to OnlyFans and continue that money. I mean, what else?
More
then he'll
power
get
to
kicked
you,
off of
dude.
Below Deck.
More power to you. And I'm going to watch Below Deck.
And Below Deck.
And Below Deck.
Below Deck.
Part 1 and 2.
And part 1 and part 2. All right.